Welcome everybody to another video of Vinyl Addict. This is Chili, and on this day in rock, April 3rd, 1968, we have Simon and Garfunkel's Bookends was released on this day. Now, before I get into this, please don't forget to hit the like button, comment on this video, share this video, and if you still haven't, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell for updates. Okay, so with that out of the way, yes, April 3rd, 1968, the rock duo, folk rock duo, they were later on called rock duo, but they started off as folk, and this is their fourth album, and was put out the day before Martin Luther King was assassinated, and it became like this album that everyone kind of went to for like peace and just to, kind of feel good. With all the turmoil going on, and it stayed at #1 for 7 weeks. Now, the album is very short. It's like 29 minutes and some seconds, and there's a lot of great songs on here, and it's a concept album. And the thing is, it was about youth and old age, as Paul Simon put it. So there are some things in here as far as like not many other folk artists were doing, where they were kind of going into like some psychedelic stuff, with noises and sounds and whatnot, what was going on at the time. Voices of old people is Art Garfunkel just recording conversations of like old people at an old age home and things like that. So there's some stuff that are just kind of thrown in between the songs and whatnot. And around this time, Paul Simon was having writer's block, and at the time also, artists had to really produce a lot of music, whether it's 2 albums or 3 albums a year. And since he was having issues, Clive Davis, chairman of Columbia at the time, kind of was throwing him around to different kind of like producers and people in the business to get his creative juices flowing, and it really wasn't working until Mike Nichols came around, and he was making a film, and it was, of course, The Graduate. And so they offered a couple of songs, Punky's Dilemma, which he didn't care for, and then of course Mrs. Robinson. Now that's on this album. The soundtrack came out a year before, and the film. So side 1 is pretty much acoustic stuff, but side 2 is more rockin' stuff and kind of outtakes from the sessions for The Graduate. And so you also have Hazy Shade of Winter on here, which is a cool rock song, which of course was later on covered by the Bangles in the 80s for the Less Than Zero soundtrack. So that's on here. The song America is on here, which is really great. And Save the Life of My Child is the first song on here, which is really cool. There's just a lot of things on here that's just kind of all over the place, but the time is really quick. It's like I said, it's like 29 minutes, and it's a really good listen. Now, upon release of this, Clive Davis also wanted this album to be priced a little higher, because this first issue had these posters, and he said, because of the posters are on here, let's make it $5.29, which would be in 2021 prices at $45 for this record. And Paul Simon was just like, what the hell, what are you talking about, They already had some prior success, of course, with The Sound of Silence and whatnot, but to increase the price of that would be insane. However, they went on and renegotiated their contract and to get more royalties, Simon and Garfunkel. So that's how that worked out. And this is the original 360 sound label on here. So this is my choice for, because it was released on this day, for vinyl pick of the day, the Simon and Garfunkel book. And it's really interesting listen if you never heard this album before, because prior to listening to Simon and Garfunkel, I just, as a kid, just kind of saw these guys as like, okay, here's one guy playing an acoustic guitar and two people singing. How exciting could that be? However, later on, as you just start, learning about things and expanding your mind and opening your mind to different things like that. And I came across this album and I was just like, a fan. After everything that Paul Simon later on, I was just hooked. I love his songwriting and everything. So Simon and Garfunkel, Bookends. Leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on this album? And what are your thoughts as far as is it one of the greatest folk rock duos? The song actually, Mrs. Robinson won Record of the Year at the first rock song to win that for Record of the Year on the 11th annual Grammy Awards. So that's an accomplishment there. So leave me a comment below, and with that, I'll shut up and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.